gone over a 411 with Marlo before or not, but this is my version of it. I just typed one up based off of the one that KW has already. And then that way I could type on it and it's in my Google Drive. You can do it on paper also. I have them that I sent out last week. Or any version of this really, because it's kind of like a to-do list. Here's a message that I can't see. I have to fix this. There. Oops. So the text box just disappeared for me. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay, we did do one last year. Good. I gotta move that. I have to move things around, so I'm gonna be a little slow. So this one I just redid, and we went over it last week, and then the big parts are down here on the bottom. The week one, I just highlighted everything that I actually completed on here. I reached out to 5 recruits. I sent out 5 cards to clients. I actually did that today because I'm kind of a procrastinator and stuff that I don't really want to do. Save $385. I did not do a virtual open house. And I have a reason for that. I actually took it off of next week's because I don't think it's something that I want to do. I think I'm going to focus on the landing pages and the campaigns. That's the 2 that I highlighted. And I'll show you what I did with those and give you some ideas. Contact 10 potential recruits. I kind of had that on here twice, so I took that one off for next week. Did not paint my laundry room. I just got lazy. Did clean up the rock stairs. So these are a combination of work things and personal goals. They kind of go together. So I filled out mine today because this is our day that we get back together again for the things that I want to do for next week. And that's, I shortened it a little bit. I reach out to 5 more recruits, send 5 more cards to clients. They don't have to be clients, actually. Thanks, Chris. Didn't get as much done as I want to get done, but it does make me try to be more geared toward doing things. I keep in mind that I have to do this. It's always in my mind. And I mean, just a to-do list would work also, but I added to-do list. I actually put that on for next week too, to do a to-do list, because I realized that I started not doing my to-do list and not looking at it. And then I don't get as much done. And my life tends to be super chaotic. So I don't, without that to-do list and without having that constantly in my mind or this list of things to do, then I don't always get to everything. So anything you didn't do here, carry over to the next week. Chris, you said you sort of made a 411. What did you do with that? This is such a quiet Zoom. Oh, okay. What did you do in command? Learned how to use it? Did you learn how to do the landing pages or campaign, or were you just focusing on contacts? Or? Just the basics. If you want to do these Zoom calls, you can do it on your phone. Dwight does it all the time. We actually have people join while they're driving down the road, and they've got their video on their phone so I can see them driving in their car. So that's an option if you want to try to do that next time. Let me know. But I can do, if you want to do Zooms that go through some of these things, I'll go through some of them today too. Oh, maybe. I'll have to ask Austin. I don't have a password. Oh, let me text you the link really quick. I just did that so Marlo could get on. And see if this works better. Marlo, are you on your phone or a computer? Your phone? Oh yeah, okay. And yeah, we can see him, so a phone would work. Here's another Zoom conference. Ah, okay. Weird. Oh, maybe there's 2 for this class, or for this, not really class, Zoom meeting. That was the first thing I sent him. So did you get the link on the text? just now? Yep, okay. Did that one work, or have you tried it yet? No, there shouldn't be a password. Nope. Oh, Austin's in the background. This will probably be helpful for you also, Marlo. Both of you really, I'm not sure if Chris is still listening or not, but I'll go back over it again. So you can ask anybody to advertise their listings, look some up. They have to be within the office though. That's Mike's rules. So I asked, my only listing that I just had just came off the market again. They're going to wait until all of this stuff gets better. But I set one up today. It's this one. I asked Connie if I could advertise hers. So I made a landing page for it. This is the house, and actually stuck it on Facebook also. So super easy to make these. If you're in this one, this part of command, you would just come over to landing pages, and over here on the right, which you really cannot see, is a start button, which it just did. Well, this is an edit, but there's a start, and then you just drag and drop stuff over. I only do 3 things for a landing page. I do my agent branding, which is up here at the top. Now that we're in here, I can show you a little. Well, it's not going to go in. Nope, I'm in 2 of them. Anyway, there's 3 widgets on the side, and I cannot get over to it. It's not cooperating with me. I think it's because my page is not big enough. I'll say no. So, well, let me back up. Go down to this consumer on the left-hand side. I have slow internet. And then create new site up on the top right, and make it a standalone page. You can do the My Agent site also. That's your website that we have, that we've given to you for free. But for this, a standalone page is great. And then create page, and then drag and drop 3 things over. You do want to name it, whatever you're doing, just so you can tell the difference between your 3 that are, or your however many you have that are setting in there. But there are 3 things that I drop in. The lead form and the listing are the only things that I pull over. So I'll pull agent branding. I always want on the bottom. You can configure these however you want, and it's your name, your number, and then the lead form I like to have in the middle, and then again I'm down at the bottom. So the lead form, when they click on this and put their information in, this will go straight to your command as a lead contact. So you get a notification saying this person is asking about this property, and it gives you their phone number and their email usually. These are free too, totally free. Then the listing, pull it up. See the little green thing that popped up? That's telling you you're going to fit it in that spot. If I went down, I could fit it in underneath, but I want to put it on the top because I want the listing on the top. And there's nothing here right now. What you'd want to do, you do want to do a content block also. So click on the content block. Down here is text, and bring a text box in. I would want to put it down below, because this is something that we have to do for advertising, but I don't want it up necessarily right where it can really be seen. I'm going to put it right here. And then just say, you could say Keller Williams. Oops. So this is the one that I did earlier today. I'm not actually going to make this one go live, but just to show you how easy it is. Keep on doing that. Configure widgets is the next thing that down here on the bottom. You have to do this. Do the listing first. This is where you pull the listing in. So you'll do browse listing. You can do it by address. You can do it by house number. So we will do, this is a really good listing to do. Sorry if you hear the screaming. grandson is having a meltdown. So there's the listing. Any listing will pop up, but you do have to have permission to do it. So click on it. I'm sorry. This is a problem with my house. And then hit save and apply. All of these listing pictures down here at the bottom. So because it's on this one, that's going to be the one that's up front. I actually don't like that picture as much. So you can hit save and apply. And you can pick whichever one is going to show up on front. I apologize for the crying.
It's fine.
He kept passing out. So it's good that he's crying today. Good that he's in a good mood. Oh my gosh, it's being so slow. Well, configure those widgets. The last one that you want to do so that it'll pop in with all this information, it pulls in all the information from the listing, all the pictures, easiest thing in the whole world to put in here and advertise it. And then up here at the top where it says listing, click the next one. So you have this interested, let's talk. You can change this to whatever you want. I'm gonna leave it for now, but do save and apply. You do have to do this on each one. Sorry if my daughter does not know that you guys can hear her yelling at me. This part where your license is to add Oregon or licensed Oregon broker because that has to be on everything. And that seems like the only spot I can get it to sit. And then you just page when you're, it's, again, super, super easy. It probably take you less than 5 minutes to put one of these together. And if you don't like it, you can push it, which is also super easy. So now it's sitting right here. I have the same one right here. I'm gonna click on that one. I made this one earlier today. And then that's what it looks like. And it's got all the pictures are in there, all the details. It maps it. This is where they would do that, filling this part out. You can do this for an open house once we start doing open houses again too. I think this is the best sign-in sheet ever for an open house because if they want a copy of this listing emailed to them, they put their information here, it goes to them, and their contact information comes to you as a contact, so you don't have to bug them for contact information. But once you have this, come back over here, you can click on these three dots and change that URL and put the address at the end, or whatever you want to call it. You can put 1144 Southeast Rex, and then that creates it. That leaves that part of that URL, the address. And then if you copy and paste it from here, earlier today, this is just, I just copied and pasted to my Facebook, and then this and comment on it. I had some, so I messaged them outside of here. So that's one little thing that you can do and push that out all over the place. This is some of that, I bring this up all the time, but Robert Thompson did this outside of command. It sounded a little more difficult than how easy it is through command, and he got some leads this way. I can't hear you, Marlo. Are you, I think you're on mute. So any questions on that? Does it look good?
It does. It does.
Have you seen this before?
Nope. First time.
Nope. Okay. That's what was on my list from last week to do for this week. The other thing that you can do is a campaign. So if you come over, and again, this campaign button also, the downside of newer listing photos and the other information if you want to do it that way. I'm trying to get it fixed. I don't know what's going. Tanya's working really hard on trying to get that. Different people's listings today, and it. Mine bumped me out. Go back to here. Okay, so campaigns are the same thing, only this is like a Facebook boost. You can also do it through Instagram. I only use Facebook. My internet is having a huge issue, so I probably won't be able to go through too much of this. Let me see if I can pull up a paid ad though.
That's okay. It looks like the main thing is it is fairly easy and almost intuitive to go through, and it's probably just going to be a couple times going through it, and then boom, I'll have it down.
And Keller Williams command landing pages or Keller Williams command campaigns, it'll walk you through it. My internet is not, what a bad time. Right. Dashboard though for the campaign area. So if I can get, I'm gonna go to the paid ads. I've done a few paid ads. This is the thing that are getting a lot of leads from. I've been just but it's an ad that I pushed out. So we are, here we go. It's finally popping up. It's just like boosting Facebook, only you're doing it through command. So it's going out more than it would do it if you did it through your normal Facebook. This one is pending. This is the Rex one. Be careful when you do these because like this one, I was going to show my other ones down here for Yoder. I think it was an open house. That one had all of the pictures on it. So just be careful when you're making them. Again, they're super easy. It basically will walk you through it. When you click on it, just do the new campaign. You can spend as much money as you want to on this or as little. And again, if this gets pushed out to whatever zip code or area that you're wanting it to go to, this top one I'm spending $20 on. It's a 10-day ad. I did one, and you can do it for anything. It doesn't have to be a listing. I did one for Keller Mortgage, and that was a lead that I got off of it. So I just developed this in Canva, and then I brought it into the campaign and I pushed it out through a Facebook boost. And then they click on it, this little learn more button down here at the bottom right is what brings them to either your gosh, I'm going blank, your landing page or wherever you direct it, your website, whichever, but it's all connected to command. So the leads are going to come in there. And I'll show you where that, last time we were on this, I touched on this a little bit. So that 0 plus, I got one lead, it's down here. And if you click on it, you're looking for leads. You will get a notification through Kelly, but click on it and then you'll see the lead and you can contact him. That's the only way that you can tell who's, so if you have multiple campaigns out there, the only way that you can tell which one they're clicking on or asking questions on is if you come in this way and click on it, and then you get their information through here. And it's got his phone number and his email in there. So that's kind of a little bit off the 411 topic. We can jump back over to that again. So now that I have you on audio, Chris, what have you been doing over the last week, or what do you have?
Primarily just finishing up, going through the database, calling people. There's actually some people that I started at the end of March that had some possible interest in doing something. So now the phone call was a little bit more focused on what their plans are and timing on their plans. Do they want to wait until COVID is completely over, or are they ready to get started now? And I've got two that are they're ready to do something now. So that's good. So the main thing there obviously is follow-up. The other thing is just going through systems and just, are all my procedures in place? Are all my checklists in place? So this happens. Do you have everything written out on what has to be done so that I can focus on other things besides, did that get done? Did that get done? Oh, what goes next? Let's see. So just attempting to become more efficient.
That's good. How many hours a week are you working, do you think?
Probably on everything, probably 30-ish.
30? Is that where you want to be? Do you want to do
No,
more?
I really need to crank it up. I'd like to crank it up. Also working on scripts, role play and script practice.
Ah,
In fact, I'm doing that daily.
I've got a script book in the office, in my office, if anybody wants to borrow it. I don't know if my office is unlocked, but I can run over there if somebody wants it and get it to you. So if you're interested, it's a huge binder. It's like
I appreciate that.
3 or 5 inches thick. It's huge, full of.
Huh.
So yeah, if you want to borrow that, let me know. I think my office is probably locked. The cleaning people like to lock them when we're not in there a lot, but I can meet you there and get it unlocked. That's something.
Thank you. That's thoughtful of you.
So do you do any time blocking?
Yes. Everything is time blocked. I'll tell you another good source is Tom Ferry is running a pivot. And there's a daily webinar that is going through, an assortment of items. One is skills improvement. One is market update. One is like video, social media, things to be looking out to start doing.
Mm-hmm.
So just watching that, looking at some of the resources, it's a good source. It's a good resource.
Tom Ferry. Can you text that to me later?
Sure.
I can put it out. Okay, that would be awesome. Marlo, what have you been doing? I think you might be on mute. Oh no, doesn't look like you're on mute. Can you hear me? I think it froze. Shoot. Can you guys still hear me? I think it froze on my end. Again, I'm having issues with my internet.
I can hear you.
You can? Okay. So just Marlo's frozen in action right now. But I think he can hear me too. So are you guys interested in doing the 411 and following up every week, or do you like that format or not like that format?
No, it's a good format.
Okay.
It's a good format. I kind of running a 411 with different things on it, and it would be better if I sit down and took one sheet of paper and put it on that versus I've got, I think, 8 or 9 sheets of paper right now.
I have
All
that.
kinds of moving lists, and it's like narrow it down and focus.
I have the same. Marlo, how do you keep track of, are you time blocking? Are you keeping a list of like to-do things or? Perfect. And Marlo, do you have people time block for it? Oh, nice. Very good. Really quick before I forget, Bold is that $99 pivot, which is super cheap. Are either of you interested in that?
I'm open to it. The thing is, I'm in Tom Ferry's pivot now.
Ah.
And I'm not sure. Tom's is probably a little bit more, detailed and involved than Bold Pivot is, from what I could see. Is Bold Pivot 2 hours a day?
Yeah,
2 days a week?
It's really 4 days a week. It's running Tuesday through Friday.
It is Tuesday through Friday.
Two of the days are the actual classes, and then the other 2 days are Coach's Corner. And I think they go 11 to 1 each day. I need to go back and look at it. Melanie knows.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Chantelle. I got my phone finally hooked up. You're right. Chris, what is the basis of the Tom Ferry pivot? Just, I mean, it might be hard to say, but is there like a sentence that kind of gives an idea of that?
Yeah, Tom started it going back, the third week in March when everything started. I mean, he hit the ground running, just there's several real estate coaches that I've seen. He was the first one that just seemed to come right out of the box with a lot of stuff. It was emphasis on skills development, a new set of scripts that factored in COVID. And then Mike Ferry was probably 10 days behind that. In fact, Mike just finished last week, a 4-day virtual he was supposed to be up in Toronto, Ontario, doing a 3-day seminar, and with this, obviously, he couldn't do it. So they took it online for 4 days, 3 hours a day, and it was
Nice.
just, aggressive script practice, role play, reaching out to everyone, heavy prospecting, just knowing your objections, knowing your tie downs, knowing your closes. And just a lot of it was on mindset. And Tom Ferry's is also a lot on mindset too.
Mhm.
That sounds
if you
great.
watch
It sounds very boldy.
yeah, very boldy. Yeah, I'm sure it probably is similar in many ways.
Yeah, I think it sounds great. It sounds like you're getting, it definitely sounds like you're getting what you need for sure. Very
Yeah.
similar. Sounds like, mindset, script, all those different things for sure. So it's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Marlo, if you're interested in it, I don't know how much time you have right now, but Nicole, so Melanie and I paid for Nicole to go to Bold, and she's paying that forward now and is looking for somebody to pay for the program also. So virtually free is if she hasn't found anybody. Even if she
I see
has,
what you did there with the virtually. I see what you did there with the virtually, Chantelle.
it's bigger. It's in a lot of ways. If she's not if she's already found somebody, I'll pay for you though. So if you want to go, let us know. Starts next week, right? It's 2 weeks. What is the date?
It starts on May 5th, and I'll help too.
Okay.
Wow.
2 weeks.
I'll help too.
Aw, look at peer pressure. Austin, are you there? Are you going to help?
Really?
I'm just kidding.
Well, mindset is such an important thing because it's interesting. I have acquaintances who are spending 4 to 5 hours a day watching the news media, and they're basically on the edge of a cliff right now, ready to jump. And I know other people are like, yeah, I know. I got my mask. I'm cool. Stay away from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree with you more. I think mindset, for me personally, mindset comes first for me because I think everything filters through that.
yes.
So I think if I'm not willing to put a little bit of time and energy into that part of my life, I've noticed for me that that if I don't do that first, then I feel like the rest of it's filtering through whether it's fear or whatever story I've made up or anything like that. So yeah, I agree with you.
Great observation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, thank you.
This is actually, to me, this whole quarantine or stay at home or whatever is actually a great time to refocus, work on the diet, exercise, losing weight, some mental improvement. It is what it is, so now make the best of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think that people, and I get it. Like, there's a lot of stress and there's a lot of factors involved for people all across the board, for sure. I mean, not denying the
Mm-hmm.
stress levels, but I completely agree with you that, I guess, not to try to use a bold quote, and Chantelle and I were talking about this morning, but what you focus on expands. And if what you're focused
Absolutely.
on is the anxious part of it, the fear, the what ifs, the maybe this, maybe that, and borrowing tomorrow's trouble, not to say that there aren't true, real, anxiety causing factors. I totally get that. But I agree with you that if you can think about your thinking and recognize that your thoughts produce your feelings, I think that you probably will find that you would get more out of this experience and come out of it on the other side with some new awarenesses and maybe, just, I don't know, some things that you might not have become aware of had in your busyness.
Great point.
That is a good point.
Absolutely.
I've gotten to know Zoom more every time we do it, which I never knew before now. That's its good and its bad things. I'm still not, if I'm in a Zoom meeting and I'm fine if I'm not the one teaching it. If I'm the one teaching it, I'm super nervous through the whole thing. So hopefully that'll be my pluses. By the end of this, I'll be comfortable with it.
Zoom is
You're
our
doing
friend.
great, Chantelle.
Yeah, you are.
I don't feel like it. You don't know how much I'm sweating.
Well, I've just been lurking because there have been so many Zoom webinars that I'm probably spending 3 to 4 hours a day just on Zoom.
Mm.
For the most part, just absorbing and listening and getting input from different parts of the country and what other people are doing and saying and strategies and stuff. And interesting tool. I will make it my friend.
Yeah, I almost feel like there's, we've had, I guess I'll just say it. We've had actually more engagement as a result of Zoom. I mean, we're hearing from, seeing people, talking to people that, to be honest, I mean, we just rarely heard much of, just because they were busy doing their thing and didn't really, I guess, it's not that they were trying to stay away. It didn't factor in for them. It wasn't part of their routine. And so now to be connecting with people and honestly, like you said, getting to collaborate and hear from people that we normally wouldn't collaborate and hear from. I don't know. I think there's a lot. I think moving forward, we should continue it on some level.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I agree. Yeah. It makes life so much easier. And we have two people here right now, Marlo and Chris, who both are here.
Yeah.
I think more than a meeting. Would you be more apt to be here than a meeting in the office right now? Do you think?
Probably not. No
Probably.
offense.
Probably.
Yeah. So you're saying, oh, sorry, go ahead.
For me, it's easier. It's more convenient depending on the time. And like at 4 o'clock, I mean, I might be in the office, but most likely I probably wouldn't be.
Yeah.
But here it was, I set the alarm for 3:50. Boom, have everything,
Yeah.
So if we continued some kind of Zoom, masterminds or trainings or just even collaboration like we're doing now, because I feel like I'm learning a lot from you, and of course Marlo too. Is that something you would be willing to maybe participate in the future?
Oh, of course.
Awesome.
Helpful to know. Marlo, when we get off this, then I'll get a hold of you and we'll get you set up on that gold. Get that paid for and get you in that. That'll be good.
Yay.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I think it sounds like they're going to open the country up pretty soon, or they're trying to. So, and we have not been hit in Portland as much as other parts of the country have. So I have huge hopes that our economy is not going to get hit, or at least the real estate market out here is not going to be affected like other parts of the country. I think we might have.
I agree. Did anyone have a chance to be on the OAR webinar Zoom meeting this morning at 9 o'clock?
I really wanted to. I saw that, but we had our staff meeting, and then we got busy doing something else after that. But I totally saw that and wanted to be on that.
It was it was really good. Lawrence Young, who is NAR's chief economist, was on from Washington D.C., and then there was a local economist. Then there was Norm from the title company. It escapes my mind right now. The point that the three of them were going through was that Portland and Seattle are so far ahead of the curve with the rest of the country. They're talking coming out of this, is it going to be a V or is it going to be a U? And the economists felt it's going to be like a square root. So it's going to be a slight V, but then it's not going to really take off and it's going to level because of so many other factors going on nationwide. And the biggest thing that Portland's going to have problems with is inventory.
Mm-hmm.
And how fast does the market come back? Because because of the unemployment so high, and because is there going to be a second wave with the virus or not? How fast is the market going to come back? And it's probably going to affect things a lot longer than we would like for it to. But we have to deal with it.
Well, thank you for that update. I was really curious about that. Thank you for the information on that and what they said. Did they give any any ways that they thought that you could sort of stay ahead of it? I mean, is there just kind of it is what it is?
They didn't go too far into that from what I can recall. I'm sure there's going to be a replay on the OAR website.
Okay, yeah.
And the website will probably be hosted up on YouTube, I'm guessing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
thank you.
So it's economics. I was an economics major, so I was like nerding out over it.
That's
I'm sure a
awesome.
lot. I'm sure a lot of people were looking at the graphs and stuff, going, "Okay, next."
There are still a lot of buyers out there. Not as many. The sellers seem to be the ones more, well, I do see buyers afraid too. I'm seeing less terminations as a reviewing broker.
Good.
So it's, I mean, when this first started, I saw a lot of terminations. Now I'm seeing a lot less terminations, but I still see people being afraid. And I had a newer agent ask me this morning, he's got a seller that's supposed to go live on Friday, and his seller sent him something that had the doom and gloom in it, and how was he supposed to respond? And I said, our market's still moving and things are still selling, and they're going in multiple offers. So the sooner the better. And if you keep on moving, you're the one that wins in the whole thing. I do have a little bit of fear in a year from now, the people who've lost their jobs right now who can't pay their mortgages. Those are the ones that we're going to see a big influx, and I think that will change. This is just my opinion, but that will change our inventory level and shift things in a year. And that's
Could
provided
definitely do
nothing
that.
else happens. But that's what we saw last time, was the fall off happens when people go into foreclosure.
They did discuss in the webinar this morning, there was some talk about foreclosure and forbearance. So if you get some extra time, you might look for that, go through it yourself and take out of it what you can.
Forbearance is kind of scary. Our oldest daughter just looked into that and signed up for it, and I told her, go back and find out for sure what you're getting into, because that usually just means 3 months from now all of your payments are due in a
Mm-hmm.
bubble, and that's not helping you, because you don't have it now, you're not going to have it in 3 months, and you're still
Exactly.
going to be facing foreclosure at that point. And people don't understand that. And that's really the only help that's out there for those people at the moment. So it really made her rethink when I explained it to her that, okay, well, maybe we just need to make our mortgage a priority now, not get ourselves in trouble 3 months from now. And she may not be able to save her house anyways, but
I wonder if they'll make some kind of, relief program or something to avoid, a whole situation like that. I mean, they've, come up with other relief programs for some of the other things, not saying that they're perfect by any means. And, I don't know how accessible they really are to the masses, but it would be really unfortunate for, just to have a whole bunch of foreclosures at the end of all this too. It would just, that's a bummer.
Depends on how long it goes on. Last time you could do modifications if you worked hard enough on them. Most loans were, not most, a lot of loans were doing modifications, and that was helpful. We actually did one.
That was. Yeah, me too.
Just have to be persistent on them. So that's one way to try to save your house. But I don't think that a lot of people knew about it. So some people lost their houses that didn't need to lose their houses. But that was last time too.
Yeah, I wonder what they've learned as a result of going through it one time, what they've learned as far as what they would do, as an industry, what they would do moving forward, do it different too. Because, they don't want foreclosures either. They don't want, that's not good for anybody. So I wonder,
Yeah.
There was a statistic that came out of a Tom Ferry webinar a couple of weeks ago, comparing this time with 2008. And the stat that really stuck with me is that in 2008, only 18% of all homeowners had at least a 50% equity position in their home. And this time it's over 50% nationwide.
So we did learn.
Yeah,
so,
that's a good point. Yeah, because there was all that flipping and whatever going on back then, and all the weirdness, and so
seconds
that's
and
true because
thirds
the way
and
they shut
fourths,
that down. Yeah,
all the
good
HELOCs.
point.
I'll get a loan for jet skis or boats or Hawaii or what. People are using their house as an ATM, and it's not that way this time. So
yeah,
that's a good point. Thank you. That's a good perspective.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I have a lot else. Marlo, you got to see the 411. Do you want me to send you a copy of that? Do you want to do it? Sure. Okay. And then next week we'll just meet again and go over what we've done, haven't done. Unless you guys have some strategies for that you want to throw in there right now, or anything that you picked up during the course of this or over the last week, or anything that you can add that might help any of us.
Just increase your prospecting. Know your scripts backwards and forwards. Be of service.
Perfect.
Chris, what are the best or the most, I guess, just being, where are you prospecting? What are you finding is the most giving you the best return on investment? And also the scripts you're using right now, are they kind of based in like care and or what are you leading with right now?
It's just, hi, this is Chris. I'm with Keller Williams Real Estate. We had spoken last year. Boom, ba boom. How are you folks holding up? Address the COVID up front. Is there anything you need? When we had talked last year, you were mentioning possibly moving whenever. What sort of time frame are you on now? And then just ask questions.
So just get really curious and but lead with the care. Okay, that's awesome. I was imagining you were going to say that. I just didn't know if there was something else out there but that's great. And when you prospects, this is your database essentially at this point.
Right, and I'm just going back out to circle prospecting, and now I'm starting to go back into expireds from 2017, 18, and 19.
Oh wow. Okay.
You were on the market back then, just kind of thing. An update. Do you still have it? Is it sold? Whatever. And there's a bunch of cool scripts, and if anyone wants those, I'm more happy to share those scripts with you too.
Yeah, I think we would be interested in those. What do you think, Chantelle?
Yeah, those would be great. Would be good.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate the collaboration. That's really great.
The coming from a place of caring about them, I think makes a huge difference, because one thing to throw out there, Nicole's adept does a lot of the cold calling people and she loves it, but the whole face of that has changed now with this virus being out there. People are on the defense, and when you call them before, they were more open, but now she calls them and they're very defensive and they're feeling like they're being taken advantage of. I got the same thing when we called the Redfin agents, that they felt like a lot of them, there was that resistance that, oh, you're just trying to take advantage of a situation and make money off of it. But if you come from a place of, hey, we want to take care of you, that makes such a big difference. So Nicole is having to shift her way of doing things because of that. Cold calling is not working as well. Although it could if you're coming from that place of caring, but you're getting much more.
Sure. And some days are better than others, and it happens. And for me, someone taught me a long time ago, you can't let one or two bad calls mess up the day.
It's true.
You just got to shake it off and just, okay.
That's really true. I think that, there is finding that balance so that people don't think you're capitalizing on an already, kind of tricky situation. I also think that coming out of this, maybe we will master, our skills of coming at it from a place of curiosity, connection, which I think at the end of the day, pandemic or not, is probably going to lead to developing those relationships, even better. So I think it's good that we're developing those parts of ourselves.
Definitely.
Yep.
Okay, I don't have anything else. Does anybody have anything? No?
Thanks for putting this together.
So.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you, Marlo and Chris. It was really nice to talk with you. And of course, Chantelle, always nice to talk with you.
Nice talking with you too.
Thank you.
I didn't really get to see Chris's face, but nice to see you guys.
Yeah, at least you got a face.
I know.
We got a
mine. I know. I don't have a webcam on this computer, but if I use my little tiny Chromebook, it's terrible. So if I really want a clear picture, like when I was watching you share your screen, this is so much better for me, but I don't have a webcam. So to kind of
Does
be
your
in the
cell
dark.
phone work? Have you tried that? That's what Marlo's on.
Yeah, it does, except for like when you're sharing your screen and stuff, it's harder for me to watch what you're doing. When I can see it on my big monitor, it's on a screen share. No, I agree with you. Maybe I should just do my phone for meetings and then this kind of stuff for screen share so that I can really watch what you're doing.
Okay.
Anyway,
I just touch on smart plans because that's something you can do that keeps those contacts up. So do some of that.
and I learned a little bit about that today, so maybe I can try to, I mean, not that you don't, I mean, I know you know, but I ended up having to watch a bunch of videos because I was trying to help someone else. So I actually ended up learning a few things. So I can try to help too if I can.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, happy Tuesday, everyone, and look forward to next Tuesday.
Okay.
Absolutely. Everyone have a great week.
You too.
You too.
Thanks so much.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Chantelle. Bye,
Bye.
Marlo. Bye, Chris.